I often wonder what we gain from comparing players over and over, because at the end of the day, when you compare two people, nobody will agree that the other person is right, or that, oh, I see your point or anything. I understand that football arguments. I think that the specific thing that make the sports like interesting, we enjoy arguing about football. That's what kept me alive in secondary school. I won't lie to you, because I hated the school, being in boarding school and everything. But why do we compare players?
It's
Like, what's the
normal.
point?
It's normal human nature. We always compare.
They taught us from school now.
We
We
always
always carry us
compare.
for
Everybody has the feeling of his zone is better or my point is better. Everybody wants to feel like his zone is superior. So it will always happen.
But okay, when it's our teams and our players that are being compared, what's the point? Because we'll never agree. Me, I'll never agree.
And
no,
that's the point.
at some point, that's why there's comparison. Sometimes the stats or the reasons the person gives you could even shut you off.
But me, I won't agree that who's that person? Chouameni or whatever is better than Pepelu. So,
And I can't even go into that argument.
because
with you.
again, the difference is also that you watch your team more than anybody. I watch my team more than someone that doesn't watch my team. So I understand the value a certain player has for my team. A fan of another club may not get it as well as
Yeah.
you, the fan. You understand what that player means to you. So at the end of the day, it will still be an emotional argument. It's
But we know that sometimes not all comparisons are emotional. Some are.
yeah, but it's
Facts.
hard.
Like,
It's hard.
just like the
Facts.
fact that Vinicius has only 5 goals for Brazil.
Yeah, that's just
and
facts.
some players
you know?
have more goals. Those ones are facts.
Those ones are facts.
You
But
understand?
So we come to this table with just
no, but why
cutlery
does
knife,
when
and
they
someone
did that,
comes with cutlass.
they
No
did that
problem.
FIFA list, FIFA Pro list, and I saw Vinicius in Brazil just. I was just laughing. They should have
He's
just
not
put
a
him-
Brazilian.
They should have just put him in Real Madrid.
But what
just.
is not a Brazilian?
They should have
What
just
did
put him in Real
he do?
Madrid.
Is he
They
not
should
a
have
Brazilian?
He is.
What-
But they should have
what-
put him in Real
what-
Madrid just.
Oh,
One,
Because that's an
he
eyesore.
is a
tell me
Brazilian
one
first
two
before
good
he's a Real
moments you
Madrid.
remember from Vinicius in Brazil just
He
this year.
is a Brazilian before he became a Real Madrid player.
Well, I've never seen him in Brazil. It's just Real Madrid.
You've never seen him. So in the Copa America, you saw his
He didn't
play.
exist.
Well, yeah,
No
you proving the
problem.
point we are saying about arguments. You see, you know,
No,
you
it's
know,
not
you
the
know
argument,
blatantly
see.
that this guy does not have more
We-
than 5 goals.
Oh,
But
but-
now you are
No.
saying, did you not see him in the Copa America?
No, you
What
see,
one
why
match-
would- why
one
would
match
he
that
What
is
would
wear-
I be looking for? What would I be
What are we
looking
looking
there?
for?
What are we looking for there?
Why won't he wear the Brazilian jersey?
No, it's just.
It's just
They should have
what-
just put in Real Madrid just. Everybody else was in their countries just. But that Vinicius one should have just been Real Madrid. That's his country at this point in time. Because we've never seen him.
But you know
for
that
Brazil.
when it has to do with Madrid self, we even want you to take the club first before your country. Remember when Bale had that issue?
Every club
When he
wants
went
that.
to
It's not
Wales.
De Laurentiis that didn't want his players to be going for AFCON.
And that one is different. It's not about the countryside, it's about a certain continent because of the
Everybody
competition
fights
that
for
they
their-
have.
No, but everybody
the
at the end of
season
the
is
day,
ongoing.
everybody fights for their own interests.
Yeah.
The clubs, they benefit more from the whatever is happening in the club. They don't care about your country. But then again, let's move on. Let's move forward to the main issue at hand. Because I mean, it's from comparisons that we've entered this one. There are some players that are not currently in form,
Yeah.
or they are not at the best that we know them to be. And we have been seeing some wild takes.
Yeah.
Mbappe was never good, overrated. It's Ligon that. By the way, I want to answer that particular one. It's Ligon that made him good. That's why I was scoring all the goals I was scoring.
So when he scored in the World Cup, was that league
That one is going
No,
too
we are
fast.
going too fast.
Lionel Messi, the GOAT of Spanish football, came to France after scoring 30 league goals, and he scored 6.
And
That's life.
They use the idea of he's just moving to a new
Exactly.
league. Let's give him chance.
Exactly. So it can happen to anybody. Anybody can struggle. That's the point. But what do you think about these takes?
So okay, so like I see it in 2 ways here. Just like what you said now to invalidate what someone has done because of a bad run of 10 games or something is outright silly. But at the same time, people should not act like because this guy has been good, when he's bad, we cannot complain as well. Or we don't have a right to say,
No, you
this
can't
player is
complain.
on a bad run of form. Some people act like, because Haaland has done it all for a forward. When he's going through a rough patch, nobody's allowed to say A against him just because just because he has won 2 golden boots, and now that he's having a rough patch, nobody is allowed to talk about his drought. Why?
No, but that's not. I don't think that's what people are doing.
No, that's the way
Because
some people are taking
what we
it,
are
that
looking at,
as if
like-
no one can talk about
Like
it.
for instance, Erling Haaland has a bad game.
Yeah.
You don't hear, oh, Erling Haaland had a bad game, poor game from Haaland, blah blah blah. Criticize the performance.
Yeah.
What you hear next is this is why Haaland can never be the face of football.
No,
This is why Haaland is not world
Cannot
class.
drag back.
those takes are outrageous.
Like my problem is, someone has a bad game or a bad run. Talk about the bad run. Like this guy is playing atrocious right now, poor, blah blah blah. At the end, but when you now suddenly say, "See, bad player," because of that,
it's
Mbappe is
like
overrated.
Mbappe
I always said it.
at Real Madrid, he comes in, and we know it's a new club, it's a new role. People are not giving him that excuse they gave to Messi. People are like, he's supposed to hit the ground running. He's supposed to have gotten the number of goals, whether he's playing number 9 or what. The fact that he has so much talent is not showing. And it's not sort of taking away the shine that he had when he was in the French Ligue 1. You know, in Ligue 1, it was, yes, we know it was a comfortable position for him. In a club where he's the face, he can play as much as he can. But players, I think fans tend to forget how good this player is with the present. We always talk about form and class. We always know when it has to be Mbappe, we know it's class, it's not a matter of form. But fans are very easy to tell you that it might be form, not even the quality for that player showing. So I understand where Sarah is coming from.
Yeah, but okay, so this is how I see it here. You know, like I always say, one of the like hallmarks of a world class player or whatever they call it these days, because if Haaland is not world class, I don't know the definition of a world class player anymore. But anyways, whatever they call it, if Kai Havertz is not world
if
class,
Vinicius is not world
if Kai
class,
Havertz is not world class, I don't know who a world class player is. But yeah, moving on. My point here is consistency is one of the hallmarks of a world class player, as far as I'm concerned. And if in a period of 5 years, one player has suffered like maybe 2 or 3 droughts, it is allowed. Because everybody will go on drought. Even Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, freakish players out of this world, they had their droughts. Yeah. So, but like, my point is, if they regard you as a world-class player and you continue to, like occasionally, you continue to go on this bad run, then people are allowed to start questioning that tag. Now, take a look at Mohamed Salah. All through when Liverpool were not that dominant, the one constant from Liverpool was that Salah will give you goals, he will give you assists, he will perform for you on the pitch. That was the constant. Like even when your team is going through a bad patch, it might not be as good as before, but let us see that this guy is performing badly. I will look at Haaland and say he's not scoring because nobody in City is scoring at the moment.
Yeah, and even at the start of the season, when he was scoring, he was the only one scoring. There was one point where he had 11 goals, only one other person had scored. That kind of thing.
Yeah, but imagine in a Liverpool side that you guys are beating everybody left, right, and center. Then Salah is scoring twice in 10 games. Then you can come out and say, okay, you don't have a point because everybody is firing on all cylinders. So
and one thing I would say in relation to Haaland, because the people who are coming to say Haaland is not world class, it's not this. There are people that.
That is even silly. He was
but he's not the first person to even say.
But this guy was a player. That's why it's silly. He played as well.
Many players don't hear anymore.
I mean, all the
this is just and also to trash the general thinking that because this player played before, we fans cannot know. Sometimes we know more than them.
Yeah,
so
sometimes they say rubbish.
Me, Messi personally, Sherwood was the coach of the player.
Because going by everything they expect of a striker, that means only Harry Kane is the striker in football. There is no other striker in football.
And even the Harry Kane, they insult him too.
And he has not won any major trophy.
And he just crashed
this Haaland thing, the people that even say all these things about Haaland, especially the fans, there are people who say, look at Benzema, pure football. But I'll bring something out about Benzema. Benzema had a season where he scored 5 big goals. He missed 18 big chances. He scored 5. Like, even the people that are insulting Mbappe now, that imagine when we had Benzema, they forget that Benzema only really entered his own when he became
that
key man, when he became the main player.
And that's what I wanted to point out. Like, some players are better suited to having that responsibility. When a responsibility comes, Benzema hit a new level as soon as responsibility came back on him. Before, Ronaldo can score 50, Benzema should score 5. No pressure.
No pressure. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. You get.
Talking about player that they also, let's talk about Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this season it feels like people are forgetting how good it is because City is struggling, and he too he had his own form of
People do
injuries.
that
But
with
that
City players so much, and it's always fascinating to me. Like, if you want to give props to City players, you hear how it's a Guardiola
is a
team,
system.
big team. There was a time that City were winning the league. Their players were not winning Player of the Year. It was only I think until KDB or something. Their players may not even enter like team of the year. They will just say it's the collective now. That is the whole team that is good. That's why. But the individuals are not good. And then now, when they start getting those, I mean, naturally, if a team is winning and winning consistently, players should
there
get
will surely
awards.
be key players
There'll be
that
key
are
players,
the call
right?
to
And I feel like people are not being fair to Foden. In that, for instance, I saw a Twitter. They were like, the journals are supposed to be bashing Foden right now and all of that. And I'm like, you people don't understand the concept of credit in the bank. If you've done enough, it's like when Ronaldo couldn't score anymore. All of a sudden, in Man U, he couldn't score anymore. Like Ronaldo he could not score.
But you know,
You just know that it's form.
but
It's
you
it's
know,
in a bad
this
place.
credit in the bank is there are two ways to look at it. One,
Yeah.
you should have a limit.
Yeah, of
Credit in
course.
the bank has a limit. One, and two, the fact that you are good means they will criticize you more and expect more from you.
Of
I mean,
course.
nobody is going to come and say why is Bob not stepping up? We'll look at the Fodens, we'll look at the
Yes.
Bernardo Silva.
Demand
These are
more,
the
yes.
players that we expect more of them. And I think for Foden, people are going over the top, but this is the way I'm seeing it here. Like, you are the current, according to the awards, you are the current
yeah.
best player in the Premier League, going by the most recent award. You are the
Yep.
current best player in the Premier League. So you have to show us why you are that guy.
Yeah.
You have to show us why you are that guy, why you won it. Prove to us that, last season, I feel like Foden's player of the year award, if you look at it well, like all the 19 non-penalty goals, it came through in clutch moments when City were like a goal down, he will score a brace or something. But people were still saying, oh, Rodri deserved it more. Alan deserved it more. I feel like his win was sort of,
Even when Haaland scored 52 goals
Yeah.
this season, people say Rodri was the more important player. Because there are also people that feel like strikers will always score, forwards will always score.
And
but
when
these
they
guys
look
are
at when they look
underrated.
at the players at City that can create a lot, we talk about just having a Kevin De Bruyne too is there with you. Also see the
They say as far as KDB is there, of course
yeah,
you
he's
score.
supposed to score.
So
We
they
also
start
see those
undervaluing-
creations from Bernardo Silva. You see that, but I feel players maybe because of how good Haaland is when he has to be with his returns on goal. I think that is also a part where he's now being found wanting because fans expect Haaland to score whether City is playing well
Or
or
not.
not.
Yeah.
Haaland should score.
okay, so let me just give you the difference between Haaland and Foden slander at the moment. Now, you look at Haaland, he's struggling with City. But as Norway might not be football powerhouses, but Haaland will go and score a trick for you there.
Yeah.
He will still go there and score. Anytime he sees of any opposition, he will still score for
Do you think-
But you see, now the difference with Foden now is that Foden might be having like a purple patch with City, but when he goes to England, he still doesn't turn up as expected. So that's where, like, if you are not turning, if like Vinicius now, Vinicius is not turning up for Brazil.
Yeah, he's not turning up
But
for
because he's turning up madly for Real Madrid, we will just overshadow it. But if in at this last Euros, Foden did not really step up for England.
Yeah.
It was Saka and the likes. So we expect them that okay, maybe he was tired. City played a lot of games. We are coming to the new season, and unfortunately, injury hit him. Now that City are struggling, we expect you to be that guy when there is no Rodri, where there is no De Bruyne.
Yeah.
He
But
still
the
didn't
thing
stand
also
out.
is that it also has to be noted that the entire team is struggling.
Of course.
Like there's not one City player you look at and say this person is having a good season so far. From Bernardo, who is even
Bernardo
more
has been
experienced,
Bernardo
more
has been
experienced
terrible.
than
He has
and
even given away
But
like
if
4
you also
goals.
look at
Notice that
City,
Bernardo
City has
also
He has
avoids
given away like
slander.
4 goals.
City has the most players aged 30 and above
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
the league this
eight
season.
players.
So you see, that's
So,
why
in
we
their
see that
first
lack
team.
of pace. But for me,
Exactly.
an unpopular opinion, if Haaland was a Polish player, do you think he would have done better than what Lewandowski did?
If he was from Poland, so I think he will have
Yeah,
done
because
better
if we
than-
talk about quality, we know that
I think
the
there's
Polish.
no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing. Because Lewandowski himself is his country's all-time top scorer.
Yeah, exactly.
They've
Haaland is
qualified
already
for
an
multiple
all-time
tournaments.
scorer at 23.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
Lewa had a bigger.
look at it this way: Norway have not really gone to
Major
major
tournaments.
tournaments. So the fact that Lewandowski and Poland have gone to major tournaments means
That's
that the
already a
quality
plus.
of opposition they are playing are the big boys in quotes.
Yeah.
So we can't really see.
And Poland got to the Euros quarterfinals in 2016.
Honestly,
They
that
lost on
question
penalties.
is hypothetical.
It's hard. In football, we do.
I mean, it's like
hypotheticals a lot,
saying if
Because we
Lewandowski
see
too was
the-
from Spain, what would he have done?
like there was a time they were saying Messi.
you know,
should have played for
I
Spain.
removed for the Spain because I know Spain is a higher quality.
Yeah.
But then we'll talk about Poland.
Poland, they're kind of
I always
comparative.
like it's more like a Lewandowski team because it's the
It is
biggest
it's a
team.
Lewandowski
But
team.
then we talk about Norway. Haaland is there, and then you have your captain.
There's Odegaard.
Odegaard.
It's not only just talent.
But Haaland is the figure.
And
Yeah, of course, it's the case.
But one thing I want to say though, regarding like the Foden thing, is he has played 10 games in the league this season.
Yep.
Just 10 games. And I'm hearing
And
that.
some he
And
came
I have
and
to
some.
say that if you're a journalist, no, like you go and become a journalist and start writing stories about Foden that is the worst player or whatever.
But wait, I saw a stat
Based on
that
last season.
Grealish has not scored for
A year.
Yes. Since
And-
2024.
The same
Grealish
person
has
was-
not scored in 360
Yes.
days,
Yes,
and we are
yes.
No,
slandering
it has not
Foden.
reached 360.
And
The year has not
people
ended.
people are grouping Foden and Grealish together and
No,
saying
it can't be possible.
two of them.
360.
It does not reach
It's
360 now.
days. in
December
my
was
opinion.
365 days.
It's 360. It's
It's
1
a
year.
year.
Even
from
remaining five days for the year
Alright,
to end.
It's 1 year.
But again, this is also why we say that like winning actually helps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if Grealish was in a team that wasn't winning and is a 100 million player, trust me, forget all this privilege talk. Trust me, they would have come for him.
They came for Pepe now. Nicolas Pepe. That's
That
why.
one,
That's why
I will
they came
never
for him.
forget.
You
I will
know
ne-
the-
he
That's why
actually
they came
helped
for Pepe.
club win a
You know,
trophy.
the good
Yeah.
thing for Grealish is that he was with City, and City won the title this season. So people did not really look at him. But now that they really need him, and they're now realizing that he's not scoring, and that same position was where we saw Mahrez them do a
Yeah.
lot. Mahrez even scored more from that, even though he was normally we say they're hanging at the touchline. Let's see how they can try to create
Yeah.
those spaces. But for Grealish, I don't really think City, in all sincerity, even signed him for goals. Because it was more
Signed
for the ball
Grealish,
retention.
yeah.
It's not even for the goals, and I feel that's
But
why
even
He wasn't even scoring like
He wasn't
that.
scoring.
let's
Grealish was just the most
honest.
fouled. He
You
could
can't
hold on
slander
play.
Anthony for not scoring and then leave Grealish.
Anthony cannot even hold on play.
Anthony doesn't have one.
He doesn't have it.
Let's,
But anyways,
Even world class.
speaking about this world class thing, how do you guys see the concept of movement in football and how important it is in like rating players? Do you think it holds water?
I think moments are
A lot.
important.
Yeah.
Moments are the things that you use to define a legacy or to enter a new level in your legacy. For instance, if you score in Champions League final, especially if you already have like tracker, it's not like Nacho scoring in Champions League final.
Yeah,
That one doesn't mean anything.
yeah,
But a player who already has like an Mbappe already has a track record of excellence
about
and
that,
everything.
the
He scores.
World
It
Cup
takes him-
final.
Yeah,
That's
the
a
World Cup
moment that I
final. It
won't
takes
forget.
him to the next level in terms of legacy. He has four World Cup goals. Mbappe. That is legacy. Those kind of moments matter.
Yeah.
Where you saved your team, you did this, you stepped up in this moment.
just
It always
like you
matters.
remember Mandzukic.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when we talk about moments, like Madrid always have that. Let's even look at Ronaldo, talk about what he did in Champions League. The
Yeah.
thing we can't forget is the one he did at Juventus, where the fans of Juve had to clap for him, that bicycle kick.
Yeah.
Because fans need to remember what you have done.
Yeah,
Because when
Those
we're having
moments are too
argument,
important.
once you have moments, they're like, okay, what did he do? Because most times they ask, there was a time we had that discussion that Haaland was not a big game player. That was only scoring against a smaller team until
no, I
it all
said it,
changed.
it will not exactly wow you on the pitch.
Yeah, you know wow you, and there was a time he was not really scoring against the top six. We
Yeah.
could see that until last season where those things were changed.
Because
So
one thing people remember is moments.
the moments, that's why it goes.
Yeah.
That's why the
That's why
strikers.
to
No, not
today
even-
people are
not
saying-
even-
No, do you know I
necessarily
said
goals.
goals? Sorry,
Goals
do you know
are
I
different
said
from
goals?
moments.
No, do you know I said goals?
Yeah,
Most of the moments, remember, they lead to goals.
or they have goals.
They
tied
have
to them.
something tied to goals to them. But then the other ones that might not be goals, either off pitch, on pitch incidents we see, or maybe a good defending or one masterclass from the goalkeeper. But how many
Yeah.
times will this stay? At least we saw a lot of masterclass on Looney last season.
I mean,
But how many times will they
moments
commit
like,
that?
for instance, despite how good Steven G was, that slip.
Yeah,
Moments
you
like
will
moments
always
like what
remember
happened.
it.
Moments
it's a
like
double-edged
Yakubu
sword.
Ayedbeni being
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
of the best
yeah.
players
And
to have
they
played for
reduced him
Nigeria,
to
and
that
we reduced
moment.
him to
Just that
miss.
one moment.
But
Those are what moments can do for you.
Gerard, it's like a double-edged sword. Part of
Yeah.
what makes the Gerard myth, not myth in like a negative sense, just like
Yeah.
Gerard, is because of those moments from like the Champions League
Of course,
final,
that was
Yeah.
the Champions
the
League
FA
was
Cup
the
final.
Holy Grail. Yeah.
It's elevated him to a status where if you slander Gerard, it's like
It's
you
not
want to fight.
acceptable, yeah.
So in the same vein, a moment too was used to slander his name too at the same time. That kind of thing. But I feel like as much as we love moments and they are very legacy defining, we need to not reduce
Player
everything
to just moments.
It's,
just
it's
moments.
like
So
Sergio
just
Ramos.
just to wrap it up, why do you think people? I mean, we are seeing these statements come up every day. Oh, I will not take Haaland. I will not rate Haaland in the same bracket like Marco van Basten, Van Nistelrooy, Thierry Henry, and the likes. Why do you think people are saying this sort of statements? I mean, I don't think they are hating on Haaland. Nobody can say he's not scoring.
Many people are hitting, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it is the actual word. But why do you think
because
they are not seeing him in that light?
Because it doesn't do certain things, which I don't think I expected of. I want my striker to just go and score me goals. Give me goals, right? That's my primary.
Sometimes you
Then
don't want your
after,
striker to single-handedly just carry the game on his back and
yeah, but how
and still
can you
score
do that
goals at
without
the
the
same
ball?
time. And still score goals at the same time. I mean, I think, players like Henry, there were certain times where they were like, oh, the hell, I'm just going to do this. And they will make one mazy run
Yeah.
and just eat it.
But guess what? The same theory that we're talking about.
Yeah,
The reason why Drogba is even mentioned
it's just
with
moments.
him,
Because
it's still moments, exactly.
what he did
Drogba in finals
He will
is
turn
near
up.
unplayable.
Stats-wise, they are nowhere close.
Do you get?
Yeah.
But Thierry Henry had the Champions League final where he couldn't deliver and all that, and that can happen to anybody. We saw Messi play how many World Cup finals? He played the first, how many finals rather?
Even
He played
Copa
Copa America final. He wasn't scoring.
Yeah.
It happens. Like even the greatest players can have those kind of, and we have to also think like those big games. They are hard. If you are going to play Van Dijk,
Because a lot of things come.
Van Dijk himself is
In
a
a
tough
big
guy
game,
to
there are
play
about
against.
7 big players on the
On the
pitch.
pitch. Why do we now judge one person for having a bad game? You can have a bad game in a big game, you know?
But that's why
So-
they are the face most times. So
Yeah,
you
to
don't
be
have
honest,
pay
it's
for it.
understandable if you criticize them here and there, but at the end of the day, we cannot reduce them to moments. That's what I'm just saying. Like it's so much more than that. But anyway, on a final note, I think that fans need to be a bit more. Let's just try to calm down and just be more balanced in our criticism. Like I don't understand like, why I was just so everything is agenda anyway these days. Like
Animals
many of
agenda.
the things that we're saying, agenda. But let us know what you think. What do you think about the way that fans go after players and how important are moments in football and not even reducing players to moments and all of that? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And of course, Haaland. All the comments about Haaland. Is it world class? Not world class. I think it's even ridiculous to ask anybody.
To ask if it's
comment on
not
that,
world
but-
class.
Okay. But let us know anyway. Thank you so much for joining us. Follow us on all social media platforms, Expert Ninja. And yeah, be happy to see you later.